Hello and welcome to Altcoin XP. My name is Anthony and I hope you're doing well. Today I want to share some of my thoughts about pyramid schemes and what causes people to not only participate in them, but also defend them. And I also want to share some of my thoughts on if regulation will help. Before I start, I gotta say that I don't know if I'm right. These are just some of my thoughts that I put together based on listening to people like Stefan Molyneux, Jordan Peterson, and Andreas Antonopoulos. For those of you who don't know, Bitconnect was a blatant scam. I guess it was technically a cross between a Ponzi scheme and a pyramid scheme. As I understand it, Ponzi scheme participants believe they make money from returns of their investment. So with Bitconnect, people were buying Bitconnect tokens and lending them to other people and supposedly earning interest off of those loans when they were paid back. It was also a pyramid scheme in that the participants were encouraged to recruit new members. In reality, it was the money coming in from the new members that was paying back the interest on the loans that the older members made. What's fascinating to me about these scams is the sheer amount of backlash and defending that the participants do. One of my very first videos was me trying to expose the My Paying Crypto Ads pyramid scheme, so I dealt with these attacks and backlash firsthand. But also Andreas recently released a video talking about this phenomenon. Here's a screenshot of the video so you guys can watch it for yourself. Andreas speaks about the attacks himself and others receive when they try to expose scams in the cryptocurrency community. And Andreas says that regulation isn't the answer to stopping these scams, which I tend to agree with. But he also says that the answer to stopping these scams is letting them happen until people wisen up and stop participating in them. He states that over time, generations of families slowly learn and pass down warning signs to their children so they can avoid the same situations. And that eventually this becomes part of their genes to be resilient to Ponzi schemes. Andreas deems this as generational learning. Now, I'm not formally educated, but I don't think that's how it works. It's my belief, and again, I could be wrong, that the way we learn is from stories, which remind us of what will happen based on things that have happened in the past. It's the stories of the Holocaust that remind us that mass genocide is a bad thing. It's the stories of devastating inflation that remind us of why we need decentralized currency. It's the story of watching our beloved uncle die from cancer that keeps us from smoking. And it's the stories of the Bible that teach us thousands of lessons. So in that thought, it would be a person reminding us of Ponzi schemes that keeps a seed in our head to remind us of what to look out for. So maybe that's the answer. Maybe the answer is public education or public awareness programs. Of course, with world currencies, the whole world would need to be educated. And if one section of the world stops running these awareness programs, they could forget about Ponzi schemes, which would open them up to the potential to being scammed. So maybe there needs to be regulation to ensure constant Ponzi awareness education, which brings me to my other point. Why do people fall for these scams in the first place? From listening to people like Stefan and Jordan over the last few years, I wonder if this is IQ related. I would be very interested to see a study of the IQ of the Bitconnect participants and of the participants of other pyramid scams. I think the argument that Stefan and Jordan make is that lower IQ people have less ability to gather resources. Therefore, they resort to things like aggression and manipulation to take advantage of people who have more than them or people who have lower IQ than them. If this is the case, then this may explain the backlash from scam participants when we try to expose their scams. Deep down somewhere, they may clearly know what they're involved in. It would also be useful to know more about the targets of Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. If his scheme targeted the rich, then my IQ argument doesn't make much sense. Except if the rich made their wealth off of, say, one lucky investment or out of bloodline inheritance. And when I say out of bloodline inheritance, I mean maybe a low IQ spouse inherited money from their high IQ spouse. Or again, maybe the participants weren't exposed to enough stories about Ponzi schemes. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I think the solution isn't as simple as leaving people to learn from their own mistakes, as Andreas puts it. If you like this video and want to see more videos like these, please like, subscribe, and share. If you want to help support me, you can donate Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dash to the addresses both on screen and in the video description. Lastly, follow me on all social media. Take care and bing bing.